It's 5 a.m. and I'm listening to a security briefing. We're going to an Iraqi airbase called Taji, which is 25 miles north of Baghdad. There's a new threat on the road called improvised explosive devices, IEDs for short, which have killed several soldiers. Since we are traveling from Camp Victory across heavily populated areas including Sadr City, the chances of receiving sniper fire are high. The soldier explains, I will need to learn to operate their communications equipment and weapons in case we get into a firefight and they are incapacitated. I learned to load, cock, and unjam an M249 SAW, squad assault weapon, and a 50 caliber machine gun. My boss is designated driver and tells me not to worry. They'll never capture us alive. I don't think he's joking. We leave Camp Victory and then the airport perimeter and are out on the road. We are now on our own and everyone is tense. The commander turns around and tells us there's a lot of sniper activity in this area. The trees off in the distance provide perfect cover. Haram, which means forbidden in Arabic, as Islamic custom forbids unchaperoned meeting between the sexes. We're entering Sadr City and I'm getting nervous as the soldiers are hyper-vigilant and aiming their weapons out the windows. I realize why they are nervous. There is a Muqtada al-Sadr rally and we're driving right by it. We finally arrive at Taji and the soldiers relax, start talking, and even joke around. To prevent accidental discharges, the soldiers remove the bullets from the firing chambers and enable the safety. We're out of danger for the time being, drive across the base and the airport runway and head towards the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Offices, aka EoD, where we meet up with the Civilian Unexploded Ordnance Supervisor, or SUCSO. On our way to the ordnance area, we drive across a junkyard of destroyed Iraqi military equipment. It's a surreal landscape. The ordnance area is located in the desert at the far end of the base. Storage hangars are spread far apart in case there's an explosion, it will not spread to the other hangars. We're instructed by the SUCSO that this bunker is our designated safety area and to meet here in case of emergency. The EOD and UXO technicians built earthen berms around the hangars so that shrapnel would fly off into the air and not into other hangars, causing a chain reaction. Our job is to identify, classify, and destroy this old and rusting ordnance so it doesn't spontaneously explode. These are 120mm artillery projectiles filled with high explosives and topped with a centrifugal arming fuse. The fuse is easily removed, exposing the high explosives. The UXO technicians discuss the most efficient and safest way to pack the ordnance for transportation to the demolition site. A warning comes across the radio that a demolition is about to take place. We head outside and see and hear the explosion in the distance. I hop back into the truck and the soldier is snacking on some food and asks if I'd care for some. We safely make it back to our offices and after stowing my gear, walk to the chow hall. I pass this building under construction. It's a mosque. I'm curious. I've never seen the inside of a mosque and decide to give it a quick look. I reach the door and see a sign that entering the mosque is off limits. I stand at the door and look inside. It's not what I was expecting, but it sure is interesting. I hear a helicopter flying low overhead and decide it's best not to hang around the mosque and continue my walk towards the chow hall. I walk along the lake in a row of houses which used to belong to Iraqi officers. I see something moving in the water and expect the worst. Luckily, it's a fish, a very big fish. I walk past the palace's main entrance and finally get to the chow hall and notice there aren't many people here today. This is the housing for third country nationals, mainly from Southeast Asia. I'm pretty sure these are Brits, and they have a no-nonsense reputation and are part of the international coalition. My coworker tells me the writing on the egg says it's halal and meets Islamic dietary customs. On my way back to my bunk, I stop by the latrine. I see pamphlets, pick one up, and give it a quick read. My eyelids open up like roll-up shutters as I recognize the noise. It's the whistle of an incoming mortar. I jump out of bed and run towards the shelter. We're under attack. Luckily, they only get in 3 shells.